Hey guys, I want to share something with you. I've been thinking about how to make travel meaningful, and you're going to get a lot of opinions from a lot of people about how to make your travels meaningful. I think that if you go somewhere and all you care about is sightseeing, then that's what you're going to get. You're going to get sightseeing. It's going to be fun that you saw some places, but you may be missing out on a lot of other experiences. I think travel changes us if we allow it to, and it changes us for so many different reasons. One, we're getting outside of our bubble, our place of comfort, and we're going somewhere that's unique and it's different. Now, if we're scared the whole time and all we do is get nervous and we hold back, well, we're missing out on what travel can offer. And so I think that one, if you are ready to open up your comfort zone and be willing to just say yes to new experiences, just kind of like that, just say yes. This is a new experience. I'm nervous, and every time you feel nervous, maybe that's your sign that hey, this is a good time for me to do something new and unique. You may be getting so much out of your travels if you can just say yes. So next time you're on a trip and something looks a little bit different, or somebody like for example invites you into their home for dinner because they're curious about you, and you start going, oh, they could be a killer, they could be smart, use your best judgment, but then just say yes and be willing to be open to new experiences. You'll find yourself letting go of so many fears, so many prejudices, so many false statements around that you hear from everybody that places are unsafe. You'll hear that about every place you go. It's unsafe. It's bad. It's they hate Americans, or they hate white people, or whatever you may hear. That dispels so much, and you'll learn by saying yes to new experiences that we're very much the same people. We want the same things. We want friendships. We want love. We want connection, and you'll learn that. And I think that that's one of the best things you can do about with traveling. So with that, I want to say, don't feel like you have to go on a vacation and have every single thing planned out. We had a very rough, very very rough itinerary for Southeast Asia, where often we wouldn't follow it. We found ourselves in different places. Sometimes we wake up in the morning, we'd step outside and go, "What do you want to do?" And here we are in a country that's completely unique. It's our first time. For example, a few months ago was our first time in Southeast Asia. We'd never been there, and I'd been to Italy, and my wife had been to the UK, and so this was quite a different experience. But times we just said, let's just see what happens, and we just walked. And as we walked, we looked, and we observed, and we saw things around us, and we smiled, and we look at unique food, and we just sit there and stare at it and be curious. Or then sometimes you get nervous because people want to sell you something, so you hurry and walk by, and you don't show any interest in something because you're afraid somebody's going to come up to you and try to sell it to you. Don't worry about that stuff. If you're not interested in it, you don't have to buy it. But don't lose out on experiences because of fears or awkward moments. Just kind of say yes to your whole trip, and just sit. Sometimes you have to sit there in silence, or you have to sit there with just smiling and just soak everything up around you. And every vacation can be unplanned stuff. That's where you find really amazing experiences. And I'm going to share one example just to kind of convert you to this idea. My wife and I were in Mandalay near Ubin Bridge in Burma. And we had no plans, and well, we did have one plan, which was to eventually get on a motorcycle and go all the way to the Ubin Bridge from kind of the center part of Mandalay. And we said, let's just go along the way and see what we see, and just stop and look at anything along the way. And we stopped at a temple and met this really amazing family. They sat us down. We started teaching their daughter English. She was a really good English student in school, and she just wanted to get more experience. They invited us into their house. They fed us. They offered us a place to sleep, a shower. A very very poor family, and they just gave so much of themselves because they just really enjoyed our interactions, and they didn't ask for money once. It was a very genuine friendship, and that all came. It was about 4.5 hours. We ended up playing with the neighborhood kids. We played soccer um, out in the street, and we just had a really beautiful time. Um, One of the daughters ended up writing us a really long letter, and we saved that letter, and it's a super important memory and gift that we keep with us for and that wouldn't have come if we just had little plans everywhere you went. So, oh, we got to go here, and then if anything gets in the way, we got to get past it and hurry and go to the next place and the next place. I think that's one of the worst ways to travel. So hopefully that's a little bit helpful. you again probably watched other videos with people's tips, and hopefully that just adds to what your understanding is of meaningful travel. If you have any questions, just write me below. Thanks, guys.